graduation field shimmered under the midday sun, but the applause died the instant the Commander's eyes locked on a single figure in the crowd. A woman stood there, shoulders squared, her hand trembling slightly as she brushed back a loose strand of hair. What silenced the ceremony was not her presence, but the tattoo on her forearm, revealed when her sleeve slipped back. The commander froze, recognition striking him like a blow. Every SEAL recruit halted mid-step, waiting. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you re-watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The woman's name was Elena, a mother who had carried silence heavier than stone. For years she had hidden her story, burying it beneath long sleeves and careful smiles. That tattoo, inked in sharp black lines, faded at the edges, was more than decoration. It was a unit insignia, one that few in the world had ever seen, and fewer still had earned. It was a mark reserved for those who had endured unspeakable trials. And yet, here she was, standing among proud families, with a son in line to become a Navy SEAL. The crowd murmured, unsure. Elena's son, Daniel, felt his chest tighten. He had never once seen his mother reveal that tattoo. She had always told him his father had been the warrior, not her. But now, the truth etched in ink threatened to rewrite everything he thought he knew. Whispers swept through the ranks. "Why does she have that mark?" one recruit hissed. "That's impossible," another muttered. Even the commander's stern mask faltered. His voice, usually steady as steel, wavered as he asked her to step forward. The air grew thick. Elena walked slowly, her shoes crunching over the gravel, each step echoing like a drumbeat. Her heart raced, but she lifted her chin, unwilling to bow to fear. The recruits stood frozen, their discipline colliding with raw curiosity. Daniel's pulse thundered in his ears. He had trained for pain, for endurance, for every test the SEALs could throw at him. But nothing had prepared him for this. The commander demanded an answer. "Where did you get that tattoo?" His words cut through the silence. Elena's breath shook, but her eyes held steady. Memories surged. Nights on covert missions, orders she couldn't refuse, the sound of comrades lost in battle. She had been sworn to secrecy. For decades, she had kept her oath. Now, standing before her son and his brothers in arms, she faced a choice: remain silent and protect the past, or speak and risk everything. She thought of Daniel, of the boy who once cried in her arms when thunder rattled the windows, of the young man who now stood taller than she was, ready to give his life for others. He deserved the truth. Her voice trembled, but it carried. "I wore this mark long before my son dreamed of wearing his trident. I was part of a shadow unit. We weren't supposed to exist. We fought where others could not, and when it ended, I was told to disappear." The crowd gasped. The recruits shifted, their discipline nearly breaking. Daniel's knees felt weak. His mother, his gentle, selfless mother, had carried the same fire he was only now learning to control. The commander's jaw tightened. He had known of that program, though most files were buried, sealed beyond reach. To see its symbol burned into a mother's arm, it was both a revelation and a warning. For a heartbeat, he considered stopping the ceremony entirely. Could the past still haunt the present? But then Daniel stepped forward. His voice, low but steady, broke the stillness. "Sir, my mother taught me honor before I ever wore this uniform. If she carries that mark, then I carry it too, in my blood." The words cracked the tension like thunder. The recruits stood straighter. The audience erupted, not in whispers this time, but in applause, louder and louder, until it rolled across the field like a wave. The commander, after a long silence, saluted Elena. Slowly, deliberately. And in that moment, ceremony became history, because truth cannot be buried forever. It finds its way back, carried by courage. And kindness, too, never vanishes. It waits and it returns, often when the world least expects it. So tell me, if this story moved you, share it, subscribe, and join this community. Because stories like these remind us, the past doesn't just shape us, it reveals us.